Talk 1070 KHMO. We are at 8:24 on a Wednesday morning, and a very special event coming up this weekend, as a matter of fact. And Jim O'Donnell is here from the James O'Donnell Funeral Home in Hannibal. Jim, good morning.
Morning, Harold.
And as we say, what has become quite an event that folks look forward to this time of year you've got coming up. First, give us the basics on the when and the where, what you got coming up.
This is becoming an annual event for us. It's our Memorial Lantern Release and Ceremony, and it is this Saturday, May 17th, at Nipper Park on the Hannibal Riverfront. It will be between 7 and 8 p.m. Folks will be able to come to the riverfront to pick up their lanterns, and at 8 p.m. we'll have a brief ceremony where the lanterns are released. And what this is just a quiet time that people can reflect and remember loved ones lost this past year or many years ago. And this event has really grown over the years, and we just like to invite anybody that wants to share the community with us in that time. We'd love to have them there.
And whenever you have something like this, of course, we always mention that if you're when you're there to honor someone, you don't have to have done business with the James O'Donnell Funeral Home.
Absolutely not. We want to make it clear that this is open to the entire community. It's open to folks that aren't necessarily from Hannibal. A lot of times, being a tourist community and in the downtown area, we'll get folks from out of town that'll drop by, and it's just really a unique ceremony. Basically, these are floating lanterns that are fairly good size, maybe 4 by 4 by 4. And folks, we provide the lanterns themselves. They're free of charge, and then basic materials to decorate them. But the idea being that you can write a special note, write a person's name. But then a lot of folks have gotten really creative and will bring in pictures or a fishing lure if the guy was a fisherman, or a special piece of candy. As an example, I did one for my own father, and I put a picture of him at a 4th of July parade because he loved 4th of July. I put a Cardinal ticket on there because he loved the Cardinals. And so I think the things that make us smile and are special, we really encourage that. So we decorate the lanterns from 7 to 8. Then Reverend Tim Goodman from Clover Road Christian Church will lead a brief ceremony. We have our honor guard there to honor our veterans from the American Legion Post 55. And then this year, we're really excited to have some special music by local musician Seth Wade that's going to incorporate some special music into the ceremony. And it's just a beautiful time where we can all come together and remember.
And at the appointed hour, all of the decorated lanterns you just let float down the Mississippi River.
That's exactly right. And it's always interesting to see which way they go. And with some high water down there, that adds to the interest. We've had years where the lanterns float back up Bear Creek, and that's beautiful because we can see them nearby.
Oh, yeah.
We've had years where the lanterns follow suit, as we hope they do, and they kind of go in a line down the river. And then we've had years where they just kind of gather and mingle. So the funeral home staff, we take care of getting the lanterns together after they're decorated and launching them onto the river. And then after our ceremony, we just invite everyone to the shore side to watch the beautiful lights and just watch the lanterns.
Yeah, and all of that, as you say, is a way to just kind of reflect, remember, and something that's going to make them smile.
That's exactly right. And I think anytime we can come together as a community, we draw strength from each other. Everybody comes from different backgrounds, different viewpoints, has different stories to share, and the uniqueness of all of our lives, I think, pulled together, we can draw strength from that and get through some of these tough situations, but also celebrate the lives of the wonderful people that have touched us that are no longer here.
Yeah, that's because, as you say, everybody's life experience, everybody's experience in regards to the person that they are remembering, and whenever people gather together, I mean, whether they know each other or not, whether they've ever met each other, well, once they start comparing notes and discover they have similar circumstances for themselves, the person that they're remembering, people draw strength from that.
I think you're exactly right. And sometimes all folks need is an avenue or an opening that they can share. And I think this lantern release is a way that a person can be as private as they want or as open. We can be as expressive as we want in the decorating of the lantern and really be eccentric with some colors and some great decorations, or it can be as simple as you want, of just writing a special note to Grandpa. So offering that wide range to folks, I think, is what appeals to the event. And we have a large number that have pre-reserved already, over 150. We've got plenty of lanterns for everyone, so we're still taking reservations. We do encourage folks to please call the funeral home, which is 221-8188, just so we can kind of plan properly and have enough lanterns. Also, at the park, seating is somewhat limited. We'll have, several chairs there, but if someone was able to pack, an easy carry lawn chair, you may want to do that. The ceremony itself is very brief, only 15 minutes, but it is meaningful, and we just really hope, those that want to join or can join us will do so this Saturday evening.
Yeah, and again, as far as the ceremony itself is concerned, I mean, you've got a pastor. Tim Goodman's going to be there, but I'm sure it is something, whatever folks' comfort level is, as far as services of one kind or another. I'm sure it's done in a way that's not going to make anybody uncomfortable if they're not necessarily at that level.
That's exactly right. This is a ceremony that we try to tailor to meet the entire community. So it's going to be an uplifting message. It's going to be just something that really celebrates life and brings a smile to our face and helps us remember those we love. So we look forward to everyone joining us. We have some special music, and like I said, we do have the American Legion Post to honor those that have made the ultimate sacrifice as far as serving our nation and protecting us. And we just hope that as many folks that can join us will.
And I'm glad you mentioned that. If you hadn't, I would have. To have the Legion involved as we get to this time of year, get to Armed Forces Day, Memorial Day, but of course it's something those who have, as you say, made the ultimate sacrifice. It's always a good time to remember them.
Absolutely, and I think with Memorial Day upon us, and that's always a time too that we tend to recognize those no longer here, but veterans. Our local Legion Post has been great. Those guys are still making the sacrifice by coming out and doing those honors, and we're very grateful that they're willing to do that for us.
Yeah, and again, as you said, that the folks that have been in the community, they've kind of watched Seth Wade grow up. I know Paul Llewellyn has been in here. He was his singing bartender at the wine stop there while he was in school, but he's starting to carve himself out quite a career.
He really is. He's a talented young musician. We're excited to have him be a part of our service this year. We try to have a different local musician each year, and I know Seth will bring something special to this year's ceremony, and we really look forward to having him here.
So once again, I don't know, well, we haven't really gone into a lot of detail about that. You've had a number of folks already reserve their lanterns. How can people do that if they haven't already?
To reserve a lantern is very simple. You just need to please call the O'Donnell Funeral Home office, which is 573-221-8188. We'll just give them your name and let them know how many folks will be attending with you and how many lanterns you would like to reserve. Because we want everybody that wants to decorate a lantern for them to be able to have one. And it's just as simple as that. Call the funeral home, reserve your lanterns, and then Saturday evening, join at Nipper Park between 7 and 8. You can pick your lanterns up any time during that time frame. We'll decorate them, and then at 8 p.m. we'll have our ceremony and release the lanterns.
And as you say, just kind of see wherever they go. Just kind of enjoy the evening. And I don't have a Saturday forecast in front of me, but I think it might be a little cool, but it'll be okay. Yeah.
That's right. It always comes around and cooperates. We've had years where maybe there's a sprinkler or two, but when we join together for that ceremony, it's a special time that we all kind of get through, and it's always enjoyable no matter the weather or which way the lanterns blow.
That's right. And one more time, the contact number if the folks want to call the O'Donnell Funeral Home for this.
The contact phone number to reserve a lantern at O'Donnell Funeral Home is 221-8188, and that's area code 573. And do want to remind everyone that you do not necessarily need to be a family served by O'Donnell Funeral Home. This is open to the entire community. It's open to folks outside the community. So if you have family that's going to be in town this weekend that are from East Coast, West Coast, anybody that wants to come, we welcome them and would love to have them.
And that is coming up on on May the
17th.
May the 17th. Yeah, that's different from what I looked at that and go, no, Saturday's not that doesn't match what's on the calendar. But the 17th, this
Yes.
Saturday, Nipper Park on the riverfront for the Memorial Lantern release and ceremony. Jim O'Donnell, we always appreciate the visit.
Thank you, Harold.
Jim O'Donnell, James O'Donnell Funeral Home, the mark of excellence for 5 generations. And we are at 8:34 from KHMO. Good morning.